So there's another rough road which I didn't take you through. I said I don't know how you rent, but rent a car anyways, right?
No problem.
Jaane ke time, let's take the shorter one.
Let's do it.
Welcome once again to warm, sunny, mesmerizing Goa. After a lot of back and forth and trying, I was finally able to get some time from Chef Avinash Martins, an amazing chef with a really cool style of cooking and philosophy.
Today we're in beautiful southern parts of Goa with the amazing Avinash Martins. Chef has been running Caventina for many years now, and he's been at the helm of this kitchen which has arguably the best food in Goa. And some of the secrets is that he gets some amazing produce to create this beautiful food, and all thanks to his friends out here who run these beautiful farms. So please, Chef, if you could tell us something about this.
Aditya, first of all, welcome to southern part of Goa.
Thank you, Chef.
That's where my restaurant Cavatina is located.
Yes, Chef.
And again, it's a pleasure to be serving Goa for the last 7 years. What I do is, I believe in sourcing local, supporting local. So we say our theme is local heart, global soul.
Yes.
Again, we're standing in Buso's farm, growing local produce, okay? And this is my source for my local vegetables and what I do with my produce.
Yes.
Again, I won't take too much time in terms of what he does, but he does something which is from the heart, right? Organically grown manures which are the cow dung based and plant based manures, no chemical fertilizers. Yes, absolutely. Another part about the farm is the soil. The soil is a fertile soil. It imparts a superb flavor to the vegetable. So he's got amaranthus, he's got mooli, he's got chili, corn, various other vegetables growing around here. So what we can do is we can take a dig, uproot a few of the vegetables and then start cooking at my kitchen.
Absolutely.
Right?
Excited.
Let's go. Let's go. Buso, we are happy to be with you.
Yes.
And thank you for supporting us always with your lovely hard work. Look at his hands. His hands are like the soil. We have to literally kiss this guy's hands, right? Check. It's like his hands are like the soil, right? It says it all. Hard-working farmer, and yeah.
Wow.
You can smile, Buso.
He owns and runs the kitchen of a very popular restaurant in South Goa called Caventina. Caventina is the name of his restaurant and also the name of a very beautiful jazz piece that he heard while spending time in Spain that took his breath away. After Chef pulled out a few vegetables from the ground and spoke about all of the hard work of Buso, we were done with the farm. And then we are off to the tucked away gem deep in the hills of South Goa, the Table in the Hills. A farm to table concept that's Chef's very own ancestral home.
So welcome to my organic kitchen where you see all wood-fired oven in a leaf of nature. So what I'm doing here today is a Greek dish, spanakopita, but hold on, it's not Greek here. It's going to be local heart, global soul. Okay, so I'm going to be using red spinach instead of the traditional spinach. I'm going to be using the red amaranthus or the tambri bhaji, or what we call it in Goa. I'm not going to use feta cheese. I'll be using some garlic. I'll be using onion, saute it, and I'm going to wrap it up in a filo pastry. So let's get cracking with the recipe. I'm going to take some red spinach, red amaranthus or tambri bhaji, and I'm going to just coarsely chop it. So nice fresh leaves of tambri bhaji. I can smell the freshness, the aromas of the earth, so to speak. Okay, I've done like a coarse chop. right? Because we're going to sweat this later on the pan. I'm going to chop some garlic here. Put some garlic chop. Put some onion. Some coarsely chopped onion. So this is a very rustic recipe. Again, what I'm following here, it's like a peasant cooking a meal. Great, so we got our ingredients chopped.
At Caventina, he cooks contemporary Goan food as well as many dishes from around the world that he recreates from all his inspirations he picked up along the way on his massive culinary journey.
So what oil is this?
This I'm using. I'm not using it. I'm going to start by making the mixture for our spanakopita. I'm going to be adding oil. In this case, I'm adding vegetable oil. Olive oil can be added. Coconut oil can be added. Any good healthy oil can be added. One can even add butter or ghee for that matter. So temperature, the pan was already heating up. I'm going to add some garlic to the pan. Okay, I'll not let it brown, I'll just let the garlic sweat. Sweating is a process of releasing the waters from the garlic. Right, I'm already getting the aromas here. Okay, before it starts to get golden brown, I add in the onion and I saute. So again, saute is to kind of jump. You see, I'm not letting it brown either.
These sounds you need though. Real and loud and
Now, at this point, I would be adding a bit of seasoning, so a little bit of salt. Salt helps release moisture, so it will help us cook faster. Alright, so good to go with the spinach now, with the amaranthus or the tamri bhaji. Right, notice that it's covering up the full pan, but it's got a lot of water contained, so it's going to release all this water and it's reduced by 1/4. So in no time you'll see the mixture is kind of reduced. You don't need to add any water. If at all you want to deglaze it with some wine, you can. It will add that acidity to it. Notice it's wilting. It will take about a minute. Notice it's already reduced into half. Here I'm going to use my beautiful, because the amaranthus is so fresh, it's very tender, it's literally melting in my mouth. I've not added a single drop of water here. Lovely. So we are good to go. I'm going to allow this mixture to cool, mix it with a little bit of cashew butter, and then I'm going to roll it up into a filo pastry and make spanakopita out of it. Alright, we have the mixture ready here, cooling down. I have mixed a little bit of cashew butter in the mixture, so it's got a little bit creamy. Here I have some melted butter, clarified butter, and I have got filo sheets. Filo sheets are basically thin, very thin rolled out pastry sheets, as you see, very delicate, very translucent. As compared to a puff pastry, a filo sheet, what it does to a product is doesn't take away from the delicacy of the product. Amaranthus is very delicate. It's got a very subtle flavor. So if I have to use a puff pastry instead of a filo pastry, then puff tends to be very rich and very heavy. This is very light and subtle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to brush butter on on a layer of pastry of filo sheet. A nice caramel, nutty brown butter. Don't be shy in brushing butter to the sheet. Covered up nice equally. Now I'm going to fold this layer to half. So we've got like 4 layers of filo in this single sheet. So you already have 4 layers. Okay. Now I'm going to cut this into 3 equal parts. So 1, 2 and 3, and I'm going to 1, 2 and 3. Alright. Now I'm going to take the mixture which I've got here. These can straight away go into an oven at 180 degrees Celsius for about 5 to 6 minutes. In this case, we'll kind of just pan cook it. So I've got a medium fire going on. I let it heat up a bit, and I'm going to add a dash of butter just to kind of moisten the pan. So just to line the pan. And I'm going to place the filo parcels of the spanakopita on the pan. Again, very low temperature because you don't want the filo getting burnt. Swirl it out nicely. It's going to get a nice golden brown color to it, and then we flip it over. So this will take us about 4 to 5 minutes, and then we're ready to go. We're going to sear all sides possible, not leaving any end. Notice the color change? You see it getting nice and golden brown. So that's an indicator that that particular side is done. So any side which is a little bit whitish or pale yellow, which means that we need to cook it more further. So this is the technique what we are applying on the pan. If you have to leave it in the oven, you don't need to do this. You just shut the oven off, be ready. 5 to 7 minutes and you're done. Product just is uniformly cooked and colored. Beautiful, beautiful. I can hear the crunch already, notice? So, that's the beauty about filo pastry. It takes no time to cook, and it acts as a catalyst in enhancing the ingredient which is a core ingredient, in this case, amaranthus. So here you go. Amaranthus, filo pastry and cashew butter put together, in which we call spanakopita. So we've got a smoker going on here. We've got some wood, we've got some hay, and the mackerel is all wrapped up in a banana leaf. Notice I've not added any oil because mackerel has got this natural oil which will basically ooze out when the roasting process happens in the grill. So I'm placing the fish out here. So it's going to be a process of smoking as well as roasting, which is going to happen here. And I'm going to close the lid. This is going to take no more than 5 minutes, and the fish is going to be ready for us to relish. So it's already taking in the flavors.
Superb. Ah, nice. How are you feeling, chef?
Good.
So Accomplished, absolutely. Look at this beautiful meal that you've made for us. Thank you so much for having us here today, chef.
It's a pleasure.
Chef, I'm very curious to know more about this property and your family and how you came to develop all of this.
So the place belonged to my great-grandfather. It's a cashew and a coconut plantation. Several hundred years back, we all used to live out of coconut and cashew as a cash crop. Ever since I was like a kid, I used to visit with my grandparents here, and it used to be a 3-day affair for us, like plucking coconuts, and it was basically held and carried back to our home.
Wow.
And we had memories of being around here, playing around with fruits, berries, cashew in season. Then I chose to study, and I was out of India. Always this thought used to be in my mind, seeing all these international chefs playing with their farms and farm to table concept, that one day when I get back, I need to go back to my land and do something. And the dreams come true finally.
So happy, chef.
Yeah. And where I'm proud to say that I'm supporting a lot of locals living to an extent of the land. There's lots to do. Again, it's work in progress. It can't be accomplished in a few years. It take a span of, I think, a decade for me till what I want to achieve. Total sustainable, in terms of dairy, in terms of produce. But again, it's a treat. I'm glad that I'm able to get something fresh, healthy, and pass on the message to the newer generation that food should be eaten the way it should be, the way our ancestors did.
Yes.
Not out of a supermarket frozen compartment or a frozen section.
Yes.
So yes, so here we are.
Well, without any further ado, chef, let's taste some of your feni.
Yes, let's do. So we'll use our earthen.
Absolutely.
So we'll start off. I'll just cut the flame off here.
Yes.
You notice the whole
It's going to come back down now.
Down. It's also very hot, so a little bit of caution.
Wow, magnificent.
So yeah.
It's such a pleasure to be in a rustic farm kitchen like this and out in nature, secluded, private. There's no one breathing down our neck.
So this is the good life our great-grandfathers enjoyed.
Yes.
And we in transit, due to modernization, lost all this.
Yes.
Imagine they were still doing this.
Yes.
And they lived a happy life.
Absolutely.
A 90-year-old plus life, and we are struggling here being...
But now you're taking this forward for your future generation, so which is very nice.
for the future of Goa.
Yes.
And for the lovers of good food and for the lovers of culture. I'm sure it's not only pertaining to Goa, but to the entire globe.
But I would like to say that definitely your Caventina restaurant and this farm is a hidden gem in Goa, and I would like it to maintain its individuality, but still I hope more people can come and pay tribute to you and your property here and your restaurant.
Yeah, to that we always in Goa say viva and salute. So I'm going to pour you a shot.
Thank you, chef.
mind it's still nice and warm.
Absolutely.
I mean hot. So
Oh, beautiful.
salute.
Salute. Thank you.
I'm getting all the flavors.
Oh, it's so much bouquet.
I'm getting lemon leaf, coffee lime. I'm getting orange peel, lemongrass.
You said it, chef. Chef is also a senior of mine from my management program. So, chef, I'm also paying respects to my super senior here.
Well, there's no super seniors and juniors here. We are all from same pedigree, and we all need to respect that. And again, it's each one's capability and ambition which will drive us all, right?
Absolutely,
So
chef.
we are on the same platform, right? You're doing something in your field, I'm doing something in my field. So glad to connect.
Thank you. We've been in touch for a while, and chef has always been engaging with me, even though chef has been super busy in the kitchen. So thank you so much, chef. It's very difficult nowadays to interact with successful chefs like you at the same level as you engaged with me. So I really appreciate that from you.
Thank you.
Chef, now I just wanted to quickly mention we've got these wine bottles from Delhi, chef. I have been donated the same from Sonari Wine Estates, fine wines. They sell wine in Bangalore, Delhi, Mumbai,
Okay.
and hopefully they'll come to Goa soon. Just want to thank them for that, and they make really beautiful. They import really beautiful wines.
Okay.
So now we can start with. I was thinking we can start with the white Bordeaux, which is 100% Sauvignon Blanc.
Okay.
It's a 2018 harvest. Michel Lynch was the name of the mayor of
Okay.
Pauillac region when the French Revolution took place. Coincidentally, it's also the name of this wine house's a very legendary winemaker. So they just named it that.
Lovely.
Have a quick taste of that. But before that, let's talk about the food.
So I think your white wine is going to pair up with our very delicate Spanakopita, which
Absolutely.
is the amaranthus and things. So if you could reach out for
Absolutely, chef.
that and place it.
That's a beautiful pairing
Do a
there.
nice wine and
Food pairing.
Food pairing along with that.
Absolutely. As I open this up. So, funnily enough, I left my wine opener in Delhi while coming here, and I was looking helter-skelter for one. I went into this restaurant and I pleaded the bartender, and the kind and hospitable Goan people as they are, he just said, "Keep it, man."
Wow.
I've got one more at home, so one more reason why I love coming to Goa and being here with the people.
Warm.
Warm, welcoming.
So the Feni does the trick to all that.
Absolutely. Morning Feni, evening
We
Feni.
brush our teeth with Feni in the morning, and the nightcap is Feni before we go to bed. I'm just kidding.
Chef, you're talking to an alcohol enthusiast myself. Sorry, as you see something happen. So this is a part of being a sommelier when the cork breaks, but it's all about not getting scared. So you go back in here.
So what's the reason for the cork breaking up? Why is
Chef, the cork broke up mainly because I think the cork had dried up. Could be a fault on my own and I didn't store it, or while talking to you I was distracted by your beautiful eyes and I dug too deep. And now,
Voila.
voila. Thank you, chef. Cheers. So what do you think of the color, chef? A little bit of green, golden,
Yeah, definitely yes.
clear, non-hazy. So the capsicum smell I was referring to is called a chemical known as pierzines, which is in Sauvignon Blanc grape.
Okay.
But there is definitely, I don't know if you get a little bit of capsicum bell pepper smell in here. Green bell pepper.
Yeah. I'm again the first time I'm hearing this particular term, the
Pierzines.
Pierzines, yeah. Normally I would associate this with a straw, like a paley, strawy, hay kind of a
Absolutely.
bouquet.
That is true as well. I think it's something more, the sensitivity of smell and taste comes with more with what you experienced. Like if I drink a IPA, I get lychee, and I once said it to a bartender who never had tasted lychee in their life, and so they couldn't associate. So all of it is so much association with
With food and ingredients.
and yes.
And I think the more you kind of swirl it and open up the bouquets,
Yes.
the more flavors it kind of bursts out.
Correct. But there's also one more thing that I've been taught, that when you're trying to smell it intensely, then don't swirl it. Because when you do swirl it, then the phenolics fly away.
Okay, okay.
And try to get one upper lip in there. So you get a circular.
Can we go for the
Please, chef.
big one?
Absolutely. Zesty.
In terms of flavor, definitely not on the sweeter side. On the drier side, not
Absolutely.
the driest, but quite a drier.
Not bone dry.
Yeah.
So, chef, when it's very acidic, your body automatically balances out the pH level.
Okay.
So, if you want to check how acidic something is, you take a sip, just see how fast the saliva comes back in your mouth.
Oh, okay.
So, we could try that out now. if
That's,
you-
yeah, that's excuse me. So you said just take a sip and then swallow it and just see how fast the saliva comes back, yeah?
That's how much acid is there in the wine. Because your body nature balances everything out, and so does your body. So now you'll see saliva secreting to balance the pH in your mouth.
So the more acidic it is,
The more saliva will come
Saliva will
out. The
come
more apparent it will come out
let's try to balance it out.
your mouth. I think it's more. The king of the show is the food. So
Yeah,
let's.
so I'll serve you our
Oh, thank you, chef.
signature Panako Pita here.
Beautiful.
Let's see how the flavors.
You don't mind if I use my hand, chef?
Please.
Thank you, chef.
Small bites are meant to be eaten.
Cheers, chef.
Appetit.
Appetit. I can really taste that cashew butter in here. It's so rounds this entire the vegetables and the filo pastry.
So the first thing you get is the crunch of the filo. Then the nuttiness of the butter starts to work out, the
Yes.
cashew butter. And then suddenly you're taken into that dark room of where the amaranthus is. So notice the amaranthus is very delicate,
Absolutely.
right? So you can't mess around with too many harsh flavors into it.
Make it into a blockbuster film unnecessarily.
Right. This is the hero of the movie.
Absolutely.
Just keep it plain simple, right? Jamie Oliver.
Jamie Oliver. This is I used to grow up watching Jamie Oliver on TV, but you have recreated my dream of a kitchen and how to live life. This is how I want to live my. Hopefully, I'm able to in a stage have something like this myself. This is beautiful.
I'm glad I'm able to inspire, and I hope I will be able to inspire many people who,
Absolutely.
want to live the right life, healthier life, simple life. Life is not about owning the best gadgets and living the.
There's no
Life is about simplicity,
life is for living.
enjoying every second, and quality time
Yes.
in sync with nature. So now I'm going to take a sip and see how it reacts with the food.
Please tell me if my pairing has worked for you. I mean, doesn't have to always.
Now I feel the taste has changed a bit because again the alkalinity in the cheese, the cashew butter and the filo is acted. I think it's
Elevated.
elevated it.
Yes.
Now I feel it's become more sharper, right?
Yes. But is the wine fighting in your mouth with
No,
the food?
it's not. It's not fighting.
They're playing well together.
Yeah. Yeah.
Perfect. That's music to my ears. Now, chef, for the king of the show, your beautiful mackerel, or like you like to call it, bangda.
Bhangra is the local term. Yes.
Yes. And I was thinking we'll pair it with some Chenin Blanc. I was thinking we'll share it with some we'll pair this with some Chenin Blanc from South Africa. Traditionally, Chenin Blanc in South Africa was called Steen.
Okay.
Because it was also a German colony many years. Dutch colony.
Okay.
Dutch colony. And this wine region is called Oliphant River region. And the Oliphant region was also a elephant habitat.
Okay.
That's why this wine has a elephant and Cape elephant. I've never tasted this before, but I have a very good feeling this is going to rock our palate.
Let's rock.
Let's rock, chef. So, chef, what is your first thought when I say Chenin Blanc?
Well, the local Chenin Blancs which I've come across of late in Goa, they tend to lean on the acidic side. But some of them, like Grover Vineyards and stuff, I mean, they really produce some great Chenin Blanc.
Chef, if you ever get a chance, I would urge you to try Charisma.
Charisma.
Charisma, yes.
Yeah,
Thank you for.
Yeah, Charisma.
They have a very nice Chenin,
Yeah.
and I think you would enjoy it with your food. It's very fruit friendly. They call it K1,
Okay.
and it's been voted as the world's best 46th best vineyard in the world. The owners owned a pharmaceutical company, so they have a lot of money to spare. So which they use it to produce wine, and it shows. I'm sure you don't need my support in that, but I think you should do a Charisma into Caventina or Charisma into Table in the Hills wine dinner here.
Yep.
Wine lunch,
You
I
can
think.
look into it in the near future. Absolutely.
Cheers, chef.
Cheers.
This is superbly golden as compared to the Sauvignon. That has some green flecks, but I don't see any
This is more dry. Looks more golden.
like hay colored. So the hay color is similar to the hay we.
Yeah, we smoked the mackerels in.
Yes.
So it's already got a connection there.
Absolutely. So there's degrees to Chenin Blanc, the grape. Some people, Chenin Blanc can be superbly sweet and bone dry. I think there's somewhere in the middle.
Middle. Yeah.
I think this would. I think the fattiness of this fish would get balanced with the acidity of this wine, the
Right,
citrusy.
let's try it.
Let's find out for ourselves. Yes.
So we got the hay smoked mackerel wrapped in a leaf. So the reason why I wrapped it in the banana leaf is otherwise the skin gets charred.
Yes.
You just need to peel off the skin and then dig into the flesh.
Yes.
Here the banana protects the skin from being charred. Right.
Yes.
So you get the. I personally like the skin along with the morsel of the fish. So you can give it a try, Aditya.
Thank you, chef. I also I read somewhere that the banana leaf is actually a natural antioxidant and natural.
So it's got
so
got
many.
a lot of and
It's a boon.
it's lovely. It's cooked.
Oh, look at all that juice and fat there. Oh, delicious. And that chili is like nicely macerated.
So you can take a small bite of the chili and dig into the.
Luckily, I have a little bit of Bengali blood in me,
Okay.
so fish thorn does not scare me at all.
Okay, lovely. Notice the smokiness of the hay. The oil has kind of, I would say, made a, in chef terms, like a dressing out of the hay and the oil.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, absolutely.
It doesn't hit you because mackerel is a very strong fish with very predominant flavor. But here, it balances out.
Absolutely.
So now, I want you to do this. Take a sip of this, of your wine.
So
Lovely.
it's lovely, and I love the fact that you haven't. Many chefs try to sell mackerel by masking the flavors. You have accentuated the flavors of mackerel while it's superb. I can taste the fish, I can taste the flesh, yet it's not overpowering anything. It's just sublime. This is so beautifully made.
So always my philosophy has been that food has to supplement each other.
Absolutely.
You can't take away from one ingredient or the other. In this case, I think this is like a classical marriage. You got the acid, you got the smoke, you got the fat, you got the spice, you got the salt. It's perfect balance.
Like they say, the Indian umami. I could eat this all day. I could eat this in the Michelin star restaurant, or I could eat it by the beach.
So in a Michelin star, I mean, at Cavatina, I fillet it. All the elements of smoke are still there. And we present it with a toast with a kalchi kodi, which is yesterday's curry. It's got its own balance out there. Right?
Absolutely.
So this is more of a rustic farm to table.
You have to match the architecture.
Correct. Absolutely right.
Oh my
We're
god.
using our hands here. There's no fancy cutlery around.
There's so much salt and flavor in our hands. This is amazing. Wow, chef. Thank you so much for having us here today. It's a sheer pleasure. It's gives me reasons to get out of bed and be happy. So, thank you so much, chef.
Cheers. Cheers to life.
Cheers to life. Viva la good life.
Viva.
Viva. Salute. Thank you.
Sadness and despair were ever looming emotions during these first wave days, at least in the cities. In these hard pandemic times where people are filled with so much anxiety and paranoia, it's a refreshing treat to be invited into someone's ancestral home and share a meal. To be vulnerable, invited, and cared for are some of life's priceless gifts we share with each other. We had a delightful day, and Chef Martin's wife Tiz, who is the front of the house champ, was a big part of this meal. Some delicious wine helped the cause as always. But now Palate Trekker must rest his eyes with a much needed siesta. With episode 4 on the horizon and lots more work to be done, Goa has once again fueled my desires and given me inspiration.